Good morning and welcome to Smell the Coffee this beautiful Monday morning. You're joined by Diana Master and Aina Riza Quayo, and we are particularly excited because we do have a lot of WTF stories. Like, wait, how is that even possible? But nevertheless, we are so happy to have you joining us today on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. How are you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing great. It's a brand new week, brand new opportunities, brand new energy, and just brand new money, hopefully.
Hopefully, always. Like, for some reason, hey, this morning I woke up so energized. Actually, it started yesterday.
Yeah.
I had the sudden urge to get my life together. Like, you ever have those moments at like 2 a.m. where you're like, no, man, I need to get my life together.
I need to
And then
do
you wake
something.
up. I remember I took out all of my clothes, repacked them.
Love.
And I'm just like, okay, I don't know why I'm nesting, but okay.
You know what, Ne? We have an extra room at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I don't use my room anymore. I just keep it tidy.
Okay.
And then I use
The other room.
the extra room. So now my problem is my niece.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why she likes my clothes so much.
Oh, no.
Every time after packing, when I go in the cupboard, everything
mess.
is a mess because she has searched for
Oh,
a top and
no.
scrambled and
Oh,
put
no.
everything out of place. So now I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm overpacking this room.
Uh-huh.
Let
It's
me
fine.
just leave it as it is.
It's fine.
Yeah, if she cannot think to herself to say, at least let me leave the other one's clothes as I found them.
Exactly. Yeah,
And
leave things how you found them.
You
man.
just
It's
get
common
tired.
courtesy.
And with nieces and nephew, even if you talk a million
They're
times,
just like, oh, this boomer is back at it
right,
again.
they're probably like, yeah, I already know what she's going to say. Yeah, she's
That
going
time
to
they
be
tune
very-
you out. The minute
Yeah.
you start, it's like, yeah, nah, nah, nah.
Oh,
Like, they're not even focusing on anything. But other than that, so yesterday, funny story, I found, I don't know if it's a lizard or a gecko or a chameleon in my house. And I tell you, I had a full-on meltdown. Like, when I say meltdown, I mean like crying actual tears. So my daughter goes, she locks herself in the room and she's like, Diana, is the lizard gone? I'm like, bro, I don't know. I'm standing outside. I'm also crying. And I'm just like, guys, I don't even know
What's
what to
happening
do.
here?
And it
where
had
was
an
the
orange
other
head.
house member?
No, she wasn't there.
Oh, she wasn't
My nanny
there.
wasn't there. Like, I'm there having a full-on meltdown. And then I asked one of my neighbors, I'm like, can you please come and help me? There's a lizard in the house. He's like, oh, no, a lizard won't do anything. I'm like, bro, I know, but I
Like
just
this-
don't like it in my house.
Yeah.
And then he goes, can you take a picture? I'm like,
How? If I'm telling you, I'm
telling
scared.
you, I'm scared. I can't even get close to it. And then he goes to me and then he says, and then he takes me back. He's like, no, just get a broom and sweep it out. I was like, you know what?
Was it dead though?
No, it was alive.
So it
and
was moving around.
Yes, and what I did was I sprayed it to basically kind of like tranquilize it so it's not as energetic. So that helped. It kept it in the one position until my one friend came over and took it out because
Wow.
I was freaking out. And then I have this other friend of mine. She grew up in the north. So the other time, she's like, I can't believe you people are scared of these things. And she just grabbed it and she threw it out. I'm like,
Welele.
she's like, no, my grandmother used to lock us, like if there was one in the hut or whatever, she would lock them in there until they kill it and they take it out.
Oh,
So that's where
my
she
next question was like, to lock them and do what with the lizard?
No, so that you get over your fear. I was like, that's traumatizing. Like, I would die.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I would have said it's just a lizard, but I don't want to upset you.
Everyone, when I posted on my status, 'cause
But
my
it's
first
just a
thought-
lizard.
My first thought was just post on the status because I couldn't even think straight. Like, who do I text? Who do I call? So I just posted on my status. I was like, whoever sees this first, please come help me. So the whole day yesterday, after, like, when we were done, my daughter went to her room. I was in my room. We didn't sit in the lounge anymore. We're like, no, we are traumatized. And the entire time she's there like, Diana, you almost died today. I'm like, girl, I almost died. I almost died. And then she called my mom. She's like, Nana, Diana almost died today because there was a gecko in the house. Moral
Not
of
you
the story.
almost dying.
I almost died, Chomi. Moral of the story, I think it's time now my man needs to come and
Yeah.
be here, because if he was here
You see, this would have been sorted out
a long
immediately.
time ago, immediately.
Yeah.
But that does, I mean, we will now be taking a quick ad break and returning with our top stories, so stay tuned. You are still watching Smell the Coffee. Now, Aina, do you eat peanut butter?
I like it. Okay, no, I eat it, but I don't like it. I'm
Okay.
not like a huge. I wouldn't die if I don't have peanut butter like for 5 years.
It's quite ironic that you said you wouldn't die, because in this next story, there's alarm over peanut butter recall in South Africa due to aflatoxin concerns. The National Consumer Commission, NCC, has issued a notice to recall various peanut butter brands manufactured by House of Natural Butters. In a media statement, the Commission said the decision was taken after the manufacturer informed it of higher than legally acceptable levels of aflatoxin. This comes a week after it recalled the Pick n Pay no-name smooth peanut butter, Eden smooth peanut butter, and Eden crunch peanut butter due to health concerns. The recent recall affects Dis-Chem's Lifestyle 400 and 800 gram smooth and crunchy, Wazugo's Superfoods all sizes, Pick n Pay's no-name 1 kg smooth, and Eden all-natural peanut butter. Acting National Commissioner Tezi Mabuza said that, excuse me, while the Commission was investigating the affairs of the manufacturer, House of Natural Butters Privately Limited, the NCC would also conduct a nationwide assessment to establish whether other brands were affected. Aflatoxins are toxic substances produced by certain molds or fungi that grow on crops such as peanuts, corn, and tree nuts. These toxins pose serious health risks if consumed in large amounts over time. These are some of the health risks associated with aflatoxins. Exposure to aflatoxins can be harmful, potentially leading to liver damage, weakened immune system, hindered growth in children. Moreover, aflatoxins have been identified as carcinogenic, raising the risk of cancer.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they need to remove them off the shelves immediately.
Yeah, so they were actually, with the recall, they were basically saying whoever bought, even if you open it and you don't even have a receipt, just take it back to where you bought it and get a full refund.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love that at least they are getting refunds.
Yeah.
But like, people just ignore these health hazards or what?
Like, honestly speaking.
Like, this thing contains something more than what is needed, what is required, but yet you still put in more and then you still put it on the shelf up
Yes.
for sale.
Yeah.
So this is like a deliberate thing that you're doing, because there is no way that you can say, oh, I didn't know, you knew. So then, like, I
Not
think
even-
they
I
need
feel
to be
like-
held accountable.
I feel like even if they didn't know, in a way, there's that negligence of,
Yeah,
we
it's
just
really
don't care, it's
negligent.
fine. Like, no one actually checks to see whether these products are suitable or safe. Like, they just assume, oh, you know what, we've been doing this for the last 20 years, it's fine, just put it
Yeah.
out on the shelf. It took one person who was like, yo, this peanut butter is a little darker than usual, I don't know what's going on. And then that's when, alarms rang and everyone was like, nah, wait. And then they started testing the peanut butters, and then they saw that, yeah, no. For me, it's the fact that even Dis-Chem's peanut butter is,
Imagine Dis-Chem.
yo, that time we
And
find
that
out
Dis-Chem
movies,
is like a trusted brand.
you know? Because I trust Dis-Chem to buy my gluten-free foods and stuff. Now I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, South Africa, I don't know, guys. And the thing is, we also get our stuff from SA.
Definitely.
So
Most of our
now,
stuff come from there.
Please just be careful when buying the peanut butter. I am that person that is paranoid, so I would stay away from peanut butter completely.
Now I understand why some people look at labels before they buy anything. Like, I find people in the shop and they're reading
Scanning the ingredients,
the ingredients, how
preservatives.
much energy, how much
Yes.
what, and then you just see them shaking their head and then
Like,
put it
and
back
they
on
put
the
it-
shelf, and they're like, nope.
That was me when I was doing the Daniel's fast, because remember, it's no sugar, no preservatives, nothing like that. So I would always read. And then also when I was in my calorie counting era, I would basically check to see, okay, how many calories are in this thing. And with our packaging, they never put the number of calories, they put the kilojoules. So now I have to open my phone, I'll be like, okay, 3,000 kilojoules, how much is that in calories? 600 calories? No. And then I put it back or whatever. So yeah, I understand now why, like, it makes a lot of sense.
All right, now we move over to our next story. Some drama, some celebrity war, and everything in between. Social media influencer Elsa Majimbo, who is from Kenya, has shared her experience of what she described as being blackballed by supermodel Naomi Campbell in Hollywood. According to Elsa, the incident stemmed from a seemingly pleasant encounter with Campbell in December 2020 when the supermodel visited Nairobi for leisure. Elsa, through her TikTok page, expressed her excitement at the prospect of meeting Naomi Campbell, who invited her to join her in Malindi for a vacation. During their time together, Manjibo claimed that Naomi suggested the idea of shooting a documentary about Manjibo's journey to America to pursue opportunities in Hollywood. However, tensions reportedly arose when Elsa premiered a documentary about her experiences with colorism and discrimination in Kenya without informing Naomi about the beach encounter. Elsa recounted a subsequent phone call from Campbell expressing outrage over not being informed about the documentary. Despite attempts to explain herself, Elsa claimed that Naomi became increasingly hostile, eventually cutting off communication. Feeling left out in the industry, Elsa admitted to struggling with the situation, even resorting to excessive drinking to cope with the stress. It wasn't until a chance encounter with fashion icon Edward, a Ghanaian who was the first male and the first black editor of British Vogue, that Elsa realized the gravity of her situation and sought to rectify it. Since then, Elsa has made efforts to reconcile with Naomi, expressing gratitude for the opportunities Naomi initially provided her in the industry. However, she clarified that their relationship remained strained. They are not friends, they are not enemies. I'm not going to speak on that, but I will say that Naomi did give me a lot of credibility, especially when I first came to Hollywood. She made me feel special. She did a lot of things for me, so I wouldn't say she made me, but she played a big role in a lot of things. Elsa said, Eddie, we are not friends, we are not enemies, we are just not anything. Naomi is yet to comment on these allegations, so let me just break it down for you. Elsa went on TikTok to speak of her relationship with Naomi. So apparently Naomi's friends told Elsa that Naomi is going around saying that she made Elsa. And Elsa is like, no, Naomi, you didn't make me. Jeez. Yes, you put me on, you introduced me to the who's and who's of Hollywood. Yes, you took me to on vacation when you were in Kenya, and I appreciate the things that you've done for me, but to say you made me, that's not it. Also, apparently Naomi got very angry. Naomi, when they were on holiday, Naomi suggested that Elsa does a documentary about her life and moving to Hollywood. And then Elsa, after vacation, goes and does a documentary about being
like facing colorism.
Yes. And then Naomi apparently called her, Elsa, how dare you do a documentary without telling me? And then from there, that's where their relationship became hostile. And then now Elsa is thinking that Naomi is cutting her ties in Hollywood.
Oh,
Because after
I
that,
see.
in the video, she explains that from that argument or from that call with Naomi,
encounter, yeah.
things for her career just went down the slope.
Yeah, because she kind of just went quiet.
Yeah.
I
So
wasn't
then
hearing about
she's
her anymore.
without saying it, she's saying that she
Naomi's
fe-
cock blocking her, basically.
Yes, black bald hair. That's what they call it in
Jeez.
Hollywood. Yeah.
No, there's a lot going on there. I
And-
mean, in all honesty, she was right though to say, you didn't put me on. Because at the end of the day, like, we knew Elsa before all these
Naomi,
celebrities,
yes,
started jumping onto her or whatever. Even before Hollywood, Elsa was already big in her own right. She was big on Instagram, she was big on TikTok and all of that, making her little skits. I remember the one time Rihanna reposted and Elsa lost it. She was like, yo, Rihanna reposted and whatnot. But then I also understand, like, in Hollywood, like, you can't upset the people that have been in the field for so long.
Like the gatekeepers.
The gatekeepers,
Naomi
exactly.
is known to be that girl.
Naomi, Beyonce, you can't.
Tyra told us what Naomi did to her. Naomi is just not that
Jeez.
girl to mess with. I definitely think right now her career in Hollywood is definitely
done.
gonna die. It's done. Because I don't think Naomi will be
Because
happy.
she's also powerful.
Yeah, she's very powerful.
Yeah, she's a powerhouse. So she can literally just make calls and be like,
I don't think, Elsa, you're going to be booking gigs in Hollywood. I don't think you should have gone on TikTok
to talk about
to
it.
talk about it
She
on
should've just
social
left it.
media
She should've
with
just
the
left
whole
it.
world. I think she should have just spoken about it with her friends and let it go.
Yeah, because that's the thing also now.
Now
posting
you
it
are
on
definitely
TikTok-
getting blackballed.
Yeah, because also posting it on TikTok in a way is kind of like, I need the public to justify what I did. You get what I'm saying? Like most of the time when people post stuff on social media, it's so that the public comes and says, you know what, Aina, you are totally right for
Right.
doing that. We support you and we stand by you. But in so standing by me, you guys are not booking me gigs.
Exactly.
You're not.
We say that we want to support victims, and then when the victims speak out, and then we bash them, we're like, Achomi, you're not supposed to.
But we are running out of time. So after the break, I talk to, when we're speaking about women in the in the corporate career industry. So we're going to see how that goes. Stick around.
Attention kids, we have some exciting news for you. We are back and this year we are planning on going big. So listen up. If you are in grade 3, grade 2, grade 1 or pre-primary, we are bringing your free school workbooks to you soon. This is all you need to know about where you can find your books. Books will be available for free in Republican Street Sale newspapers and all Namibian Sun newspapers. And for all pre-primary kids out there, your books will be delivered to your school in all 14 regions of Namibia. And there's more. Pre-primary books will also be printed in 9 different languages. Check out when your book will be available from the schedule right here. That's not all. Our free online school is there to help you along the way with video lessons and more books to download. You can also follow along on NTV every Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 11:30 for your daily online school lesson.
You're still watching Small the Coffee. Now in today's guest segment, we have none other than Laurentia Prinzonski, who is the Marketing and Communications Manager at Sanlam, and she's going to be sharing with us a little bit about her journey in the corporate world. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure. So starting us off, can you share your story of your early career and how you first entered the corporate world?
I started working at a very, very young age. I don't want to say which shops, but I started working when I was in grade 10. And then eventually when you get to university, you start doing odd jobs along the way. I did a few odd jobs with an agency. I studied marketing, my first degree. And then I worked at an ad agency for some time, got into the office workspace at the ad agency and left that. And I think my corporate career started when I started working at the bank. I worked in their call center department and credit card department for a few years. And then after that, I left to the insurance industry.
Okay.
I've been in the insurance industry for the past 8 years. We always say we move from the one insurance company to the next. So I was at one and then I moved to the other one, and altogether it's about 8 years. So yeah, that's how my corporate career started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what motivated you to pursue a career in communications?
So while I was at the first insurance company, I was in the marketing space because I studied marketing. And then an opportunity arose for me to start doing some communication stuff, public relations, writing. And at that point, for me, in the beginning, it wasn't something that I would have thought I would have wanted to do, because it means that I need to be in the limelight. I'm not someone to be out there. I'm usually the backbencher. If I can do stuff from the background, it would be good. But when this opportunity came, I saw it as a good one. And then with time, things progressed, and I realized I needed to go and study, to study in the communications field. I went and I studied. I completed my honors degree in communications, and that's how I got into the communications field. The opportunity that I got presented that, and so I decided, let me make it formal. And I did it, and I made it formal, and that's how I got into communications space. You know, it's a very big field. A lot of people don't necessarily understand how big it is and what a variety of things, a scope it has. But as you go deeper into it, you see how it is. And so I still learn every single day.
I mean, yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, so I've been in this communication space for the past 3.5, 4 years now.
Okay.
And it still feels new every morning.
I can imagine. Now, in the beginning, what were some of the initial challenges you faced in the corporate landscape, and how did you overcome them?
I think these challenges that I'm going to mention now is not necessarily just in the beginning, but it still continues every day. I think some of them were, for me, technology limitations, cultural barriers. Sometimes corporates don't see the essence in having a communications or a public relations person as an employee or as a department, for example. People don't understand the difference between marketing and communications, and that marketing has its own aspects and that communication has its own aspects. So you still fight these challenges every day. But I think what makes it exciting to go through these challenges are that with technology, for example, it's something that develops every day.
Yeah.
So people are getting used to the idea. And so it doesn't become such a big challenge anymore. It just becomes a challenge because you fight for budgets to get to technology. Cultural barriers, depending on what company you work for, obviously, the culture that is created there is always a story, because if you don't have the right culture that you're working in, for me as an individual, to communicate with the internal and external stuff is sometimes a challenge. But how you deal with it really matters at the end of the day.
Yes.
And if you have the right support system, which is your immediate boss, your department that you work with, the teamwork that you have, I think it blows over very quickly.
Definitely. Just to bring you back to the support system, right?
Yeah.
Of course, as we go on our journeys, we have mentors. Now, were there any specific mentors or influencers who played a significant role in shaping your career, and how did their guidance impact your journey in the corporate world?
I had both bad and good and bad influences. And I always say, if it weren't for the bad influences, I wouldn't have found the good ones. I had extreme bad circumstances when I started in the communications industry, or rather in the field. And, you know, you sometimes just feel like, is it really worth it to be to be in this space? But if I look at it, when I stepped out of the first space of the bad, I would not have found all the good people that I was running away from the bad from. You know? So the influences were there. The bad ones made me learn a lot. I still learn from those bad experiences because it made me a tough cookie. But the good ones were there. They are still there. I had, for the past 3 years, before I got into the managerial position, I had my immediate boss that left, and so I then applied for her position, and this is where I am now.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
she mentored me. She really pushed me in a good direction, and I never knew she's pushing me into her
Into her
position.
position, yeah.
And then in the time that I was, getting into the interview phase of her position, I had met a coach, and she really took me through what it would be like in this space. And she takes me through still every day, because when you wake up and you have a thought or so, and you're just like, today I don't feel like this, and then she's like, yeah, but I told you this is what's going to come up, this is how you can deal with it, and let's move forward. And that
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Smell the Coffee. We do hope you enjoyed our show. And if you are saddened by the fact that we have to go, fear not. We will be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. From Diana Master and Aina Razakweyo, do have yourselves a productive